Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Hi, I'm DKWILL, and this is DKWILL Talk About It. And I'm going to talk about something that's been plaguing me for a while. It's something that my contrarian mind can't help me unload unless I get some kind of resolution that makes sense to me, because of course I've always said, and I'll say it again, if it don't make sense, well, it don't make dollars and cents. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about stable coins that are dollar for dollar as compared to XRP, which is a neutral asset that transfers value. And so with all this attention going on to stable coins, of course, today we have the House gearing up for the crypto market structure vote on today, 7/15/2025, Wednesday, and then tomorrow on the stable coins with the Genius Act. And I got to wondering, I couldn't shake it from my mind, well, if Ripple has been authorized to mint 10 quadrillion stable coins of the RLUSD, along with Circle's minting of stable coins and other entities that mint stable coins as mediums for transfers of money, I began to wonder, will that replace XRP? Is XRP just a prototype that we've been duped to test out the same way Bitcoin was a prototype to test and see that people were willing to spend now up to $120,000 for an imaginary coin that they can't hold for a software program? And is XRP following that same pattern? Well, let's listen in on Brad Garlinghouse from Squawk Box a couple of days back, and that will begin our conversation a little bit better.
How does that factor into how you approach the whole stablecoin industry?
So the stablecoin industry is about $250 billion today. You know, many people think it'll be between 1 and 2 trillion in a handful of years. The growth behind it has been profound. We joined the market kind of late, partly because we were using stablecoins in our payment flows for our institutional customers. As you probably know, Ripple at its core has been a payments company and solving a cross-border payments problem. We use stablecoins, we use XRP where it makes sense. And stablecoins, when we were using that, we were a big part of activity for us. We were minting a lot, and we thought we can participate in this market, given our institutional background, given the fact we've leaned into compliance, been very regulated. We have over 60 global licenses to participate in these markets. So we feel like the growth ahead will serve us well as we continue to serve that institutional client.
Yeah, Brad Garlinghouse said a lot in that little bit of time. I only recorded about a minute of that interview, which lasted probably about 4 minutes. Some of the things he said were they have been using stable coins a lot in their transfer. Now, I'm going to pick something else he said after that out. But you'll notice here on his page here back in May, he said stable coins are exploding globally for their real-world applications. The sheer amount of recent announcements across crypto, fintech, and traditional finance should indicate as such. The sooner the U.S. can pass workable, clear rules, the faster it reaps the benefits of this technology. The sooner they can pass clear rules, clarity. But he made that comment that they have been already using stable coins. And if you'll recall too, there was the creation of the new stablecoin RLUSD that I mentioned earlier in the introduction. And RLUSD, it says, hit 3 trillion in volume. That's a lot of money. So the key question I'm still dealing with is, okay, well, if now you can transfer money cross borders using stable coins, of what good is XRP? He kind of hinted at it in the interview. Listen one more time.
We joined the market kind of late, partly because we were using stablecoins in our payment flows for our institutional customers. As you probably know, Ripple at its core has been a payments company and solving a cross-border payments problem. We use stablecoins, we use XRP where it makes sense.
We were using stable coins in our payment flows for our institutional customers. And here, this post from Brad Garlinghouse looks like sometime in April of 2024, launching a stable coin is a natural step for Ripple as we bridge the gap between traditional finance and crypto. We have 1, years of experience. 2, regulatory footprint that's about to get bigger, very likely today and tomorrow with legislation. 3, a strong balance sheet. And 4, a network with near global payout coverage to offer the best of crypto-enabled payments using XRP and our future stablecoin together. That future stablecoin is now here. It's RLUSD. And David Schwartz said to that, a high quality USD stablecoin on the XRPL with its decentralized exchange and features like issued currencies, auto bridging that uses XRP as a native currency to facilitate trades between other assets, and the automatic market maker will be a game changer for users and developers. And that was something else that was said. I will isolate that as well.
We use XRP where it makes sense.
XRP where it makes sense. Maybe this is one of the places that it makes sense besides payments between cash purchases or cash movement. Because recall that we've said between other assets. And here we talk about the launch of regulated XRP futures. Marks a key institutional milestone for not Ripple, but XRP. And very excited to report that Hidden Road cleared the first block trade on CME at the open. And this is a May 19th posting. But the point is, XRP and micro XRP futures are now live. So one of those assets are futures, securities. Moving, because he finished it out with another phrase that tells the story as to how XRP may not end up burnt up by trying to move all the money on the globe, burning at a rate that would probably wipe it out too soon for it to matter. And that's where stable coins come in. Stable coins, as stable as they are, will handle the everyday value transfers, whereas XRP will handle other assets. For who? Well, he said that in the interview too.
We have over 60 global licenses to participate in these markets. So we feel like the growth ahead will serve us well as we continue to serve that institutional client.
I want you to listen in on this excerpt from a video I did 4 years ago, July 17, 2021, referencing something that was said even before then. And he said it just now in this video as well. Listen in on what was said. This is the thumbnail from that video, and I'll try to put the cards in this video as well.
But Brad Garlinghouse made it clear in a speech that he gave in response to an interview at the Yahoo Finance All Market Summit a while back. We've all said it. For the sake of time, I'm just going to read it, and he makes it quite clear. A consumer speculator is not our target market. Our target market are financial institutions that we can solve a big problem measuring trillions of dollars using these technologies. So is there any secret or guess?
We have over 60 global licenses to participate in these markets. So we feel like the growth ahead will serve us well as we continue to serve that institutional client.
As we continue to serve our institutional clients. And when you look at the global financial markets, you get an idea of just how many markets there are. If you can recall the one with the blocks on it, that was pretty extensive. But there's equity markets, there's fixed income markets, there's the Forex markets, there's a credit market, there's a commodities market, there's some market economies, and there's miscellaneous aspects of the global financial markets. And so, in a way, XRP did serve as a prototype. It served as a prototype for stablecoins to get the banks and everybody on board and to trust the fact that the transfer of monies through that system, the XRPL ledger system, is a feasible, economical, and beneficial way of handling funds, as well as a forensic way of handling funds. And so while the world of commerce and just everyday purchases can be handled with stable coins, the institutional customers that he references that deal with cash and derivative instruments, that deal with stock valuations, that deal with money markets and bonds and other derivatives, that deals with the financial institutional grade, central banks and their roles. That's where XRP will have its application and prominence. And given the fact that the rest of the money supply can be handled by stable coins, there's no immediate threat from the burn rate of XRP. But at the same time, the value will have to escalate. And sooner or later, they're going to figure a way to get it out of our hands besides shaking a rug to get it out of our hands. And that should prove to be pretty lucrative for us. But as you can see, there are plenty of more financial markets for the transfer of value. I don't even see real estate on here. Real estate market, gold market. I can keep up coming up with markets. There it is, metals and precious. There it is right there. I'm sorry. That's in there. I still don't see real estate. But nonetheless, you get the point. XRP is not going anywhere. I'm DKWILL. This is DKWILL. Talk about it. And I've talked about it. Have a wonderful day.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.